Well, my name's George Sparks. A number of things. One was alcohol and drugs that brought me to Foundation. I asked my wife right before I sobered up to get me a Bible. I knew I needed a Bible. She got me one, and I started getting in the Word and started going to AA. And actually, they kicked me out. Uh, I wanted to share the glory of God and what God's doing in my life. And they wanted to dwell in the past and talk about war stories. I was past that. And they said, "Well, you're not really working out here." So I quietly left. I remember one Sunday, this sweet little old lady, I can't think of her name, but she told me about Luke Henderson and RU. Showed up one Thursday night, and I really did like it. We could talk about Jesus and what he was doing in our lives and how he's changing things and just giving him the glory. I think I met Pastor Sam one night, and he invited me to Wednesday nights. Well, our church didn't have a Wednesday night service, so I started coming Wednesdays, and then enjoying that and getting into it, getting to know some of the brothers and sisters here. Wonderful group of people. I love all of them. Maybe a couple I don't care for, but God's still working on that. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Well, then I started coming here on Sundays, and I had to read the church book. Well, I finally got through that and started attending and became a member of the Free Will Foundation Free Will Baptist Church. I was 21, 22 years old, and by then I was an alcoholic. I'd burn every bridge, blew down every building, tore out every sidewalk, and I mean I was broke down, and I was almost homeless. I mean, my relationships were ruined. Well, me and my cousin, we grew up together, and we got this idea that we was either going to go to truck driving school or join the Navy. Well, we picked the Navy. I just got through saying I do or whatever the end of it was, and I looked to my right because my cousin was there, and we was going in on the buddy system. Well, he was gone. He ducked and ran out before it was over. Left me there by myself. I stationed on the USS Coral Sea CV-43 aircraft carrier, steam driven. The max was 3,500 men. Talk about a culture shock. Oh man, I was lost. I was just all alone, lonely, hurt, and I'll always remember this guy. He was a petty officer, and his name was John Dougal. Now, about the only thing you had to look forward to in the Navy was eating, because the shifts were 6 on, 6 off, nothing to do, but the galley was open 4 times a day. And needless to say, I attended all of them. And this petty officer, I mean, this galley's big. I imagine there's 300-400 people. Well, God told him, come and sit next to me. I was sitting there all alone. He come over, introduced himself to me, and we got to talking and kind of became friends. And this guy was incredible with his presentation of how God used him to lead me to Christ. But he started out with these simple diagrams on a napkin. And I mean, it was like he was leaving breadcrumbs. He told me if I wanted Jesus in my life, I had to pray a prayer. And that night I prayed the prayer of salvation. I mean, I was bawling, snot flowing, and prayed the prayer of salvation. And the first two words that came out of my mouth were, I believe. And those two words right there are two of the most important words I've ever heard in my life. They've gotten me through failures, hard times, dark times, was I believe. And that's how I became a Christian. Said there's a better way. I mean, what you're doing is going to kill yourself, whether it's a slow death or whether it is suicide, but you might want to give Jesus a chance and the opportunity. He will clean up your life. You can come as you are. You don't have to get good or be good or buy a Bible. You just got to humble yourself a little bit and ask him to come into your life and be your Lord and Savior. In your life, I mean, it's not going to be easy. The road's not easy with God. He takes us through hardships, but that's to teach us that he's there and he's willing to walk through it with us and be a part of our lives. Well, here in the last year, I got to play in church. Got weary in well-doing. Started looking for excuses not to come to church. Kind of started playing church. But I walked into isolation. I clammed up, didn't speak to anybody, didn't want to go anywhere. And what I didn't know in this isolation for the first time in my life, Jesus was there with me. He revealed that to me through the first, the middle, or end of it. And we walked through this together, and he has taught me so much about who he is, what he stands for, and I have fallen in love with the red words of the Bible. And on the way out of this, I walked out victorious. I'd made a decision. It was time to stand up, walk with God. And the day after I walked out, I didn't even smell like smoke. I was clean. And God gave me a verse in Proverbs 18:1. A man who isolates himself seeks his own desire. He rages against all wise judgment. God showed me that the day after. And that was one of my verses that he gave me. And I'm a whole completely different man than I was a year ago. And I owe it all to God. Oh, to tell you my story.